All right, 1 second. Let me go ahead and pull up these leaks. So these are the leaks right here. World of Warcraft. Age of Darkness. Another 4chan quote leak. All right, let's go ahead and just look at it on the WoW subreddit. Oh, 3 days ago. Okay, let's just look at it here. Level squish. Oh, this actually, it seems like it'll be better here. Level squish to 50. New cap is 60. Vanilla is 1 to 20. TBC Wrath of the Lich King Cataclysm is, thank you very much, Nerd Basher. Appreciate the 150k. Thank you very much. Cataclysm is 20 to 30. Mop is, WAD is 30 to 40. Legion is 40 to 50. And, AOD is 50 to 60. So this is a new expansion. Okay. All right. That's mount the cock. Oh, yeah, you're right. I will put on the cock just so everybody knows where my money went. Okay, there we go. We're good. New class Tinker. 2 specializations. Explosives, range direct damage, and combat medic healing. Wait, what the fuck? Okay. Exclusive to gnomes, mechagnomes, Draenei goblins, Gill goblins. Forsaken, pre-purchasable with mechagnomes and Gill goblins in 8.3 or 8.35. What the fuck is this? Fake? Well, just a second. Gill Goblin. Let me look this up. Gill Goblin. No, they're right there. No, this actually makes sense. Yeah, these are the goblins that you're able to get from Nashtatar. No, this isn't even bullshit at all. Look at this guy. Sounds all legit. Yeah, this is actually fan fiction. I don't think it's fan fiction. I mean, like, it could be, but I mean, I don't think we can really tell. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, let's see. All right, next. Okay, yeah, guys, please trade me any gold that you get. Just give me 1 second here. Story, N'Zoth unleashes darkness over Azeroth, as foreshadowed in the Nighthold raid encounter with Star Augur Atreus. Starting point is the attack on Thunderbluff raid. Where he interrupts the Horde and Alliance forces in the final battle. Kalimdor is his first goal as he strives to revive one of our oldest foes, Cthulhu in Silithus.
Cthulhu.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Wait, what?
Hold on. Is Pyromancer here?
Okay, we'll see. Let's see. To do this, he's seeking to destroy the Bronze Dragonflight and turn Nozdormu into Murzond, so he alters the timeline where Cthulhu doesn't get defeated, and the battle for Ahn'Qiraj is lost by the Horde and Alliance in consequence. No real dragon focus yet. Bronze Dragon and Infinite Dragonflights play a major role. Xal'atath will play a major role as the main antagonist of the Old Gods, some sort of evil neutral. She commands us to captivate and imprison Sylvanas instead of killing her, because we need her. Partial Old World revamp. Only unlocks after finishing the pre-quest for Age of Darkness. For new players, it will be the same as live until they do the pre-quest at level 50. Starting with Kalimdor, Ungoro, Feralast, Desolus, Mulgore as high-level new zones. Silithus will be the endgame zone akin to Suramar.
Got the feeling that you wanna burn slow. I can see that you're always on a move it. I can see that you're always on go. I can feel that your mind's always running.
Why is everybody saying fake? Like a vanilla WoW feel?
Wait,
yeah,
you were the one that said fake.
Well, yeah, but I hadn't read it by then. I mean, like, I assume that things are fake, but I mean, I don't think there's anything in here that makes me feel like, okay, for sure this is fake. That's all I'm really trying to say, okay? Let me look at the rest of this. Okay, Eastern Kingdom will be revamped later on with something special planned for Gilneas, Tirisfal, and the Plaguelands. Hint towards the old god underneath Tirisfal.
No. No. No.
No?
No. No. Fake. Fake. It was like... Hey, by the way, it was a Cathraxi under Tirisfal. There's no old
And
god.
that was explained in the
fake
thing,
leaks.
right? Yeah.
Fake.
Are we sure? You're sure about this, right?
I'm pretty sure. I think most of what they're saying right there is
Okay.
like playing into things that the community's familiar with, like Xalatath.
Yeah.
A big player for the old gods. Like, I don't really think. I don't know. I think that's fake.
All right, well, let me read the rest of it just to see, okay? Just a second, guys. Please, if you can, please go ahead and trade. And summon me over to where the rare is, okay? Or not summon me. Sorry, invite me to a realm where these rares are up. I'm gonna try and kill them while we look at these. Okay, this is all Savant's plan. Well, we'll read the rest of the leaks and then we'll kind of go from there, okay? I think that's the main goal. Wouldn't it make Tinker Gnome only? That would be so bad. I think they could do that. I mean, they made that with Demon Hunters. Yeah, invite me to a realm where Arachnid Harvester's up. Or Rust Feather. One or the other. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll read the rest of these. Okay, Essence System unlocked at level 50. Every class gets several new skills and traits. Wait, what's this here? Several new skills and traits for 50 to 60. Similar to the Glyph System, which had 5 sockets. Wait, where is this guy? Wait, why do you invite me? You're in Stormsong Valley. You're too far away. Okay, thank you for trying, though. I appreciate. Okay, let's see. 5 sockets. Similar to Glyph socket, we once had 5 sockets, 2 for passive traits, 2 for active skills, 1 ultimate ability. Wow, we MOBAs now, boys. Reshaping the talent system. Offensive and defensive talents per bracket at level 120. Wait. Reshaping of the talent system. Offensive and defensive talents per bracket at level 10. Wait, what the hell is this? 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, you can pick 1 offensive plus 1 defensive talent per bracket. Conquest points.
Sick.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, we'll see what happens. Let's see. I don't think that invite went through, unfortunately. Okay, conquest points. New max level leveling system. Unlocked at level 60, account-wide. Different bonuses you can spend points on, more execute damage, higher run speed. Once unlocked, it's available for all characters on the account that's at least level 10.
So then all your characters just run fast?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay, great. That's the link of the thing that we're looking at. This is a good idea. I don't know. It depends on if it's capped. Like, if it's capped, I would be okay with it. But if it's just another infinite progression system, I wouldn't like it. I feel like that's the main difference for me. Yeah, I would not like to see that. Okay, let me go ahead and double check here. Release date plan for... Okay, this is the release date. Plan for Q4 2020, but they want to polish this expansion so it might get delayed. Okay, yeah, this leak is fake.
Yeah, cute.
Yeah, this is fake. 100%. I didn't know about it until this point, but after this line, yeah, this one's fake.
There's one on Reddit that was actually like pretty decent. Whoever was typing it was like pretty well spoken. They typed pretty well.
Yeah. And
it seemed a hell of a lot more reasonable, like the things that they were saying. I don't have a link to it, unfortunately, but.
All right. Well, let me finish this one, and then we'll talk about that. 8.2 will introduce the new heritage armor and new models. We'll deal mostly with factions in the aftermath of the events from the Eternal Palace. Final patch 8.3 is set in Mulgore. Center around Sylvanas' plan to attack Thunderbluff. Mulgore will be turned into the new max level zone similar to Mechagon with ongoing progress and weekly unlocks, culminating in the attack of Thunderbluff Raid. Sylvanas is the final boss with Nathanos aiding her. Nathanos will be killed, Sylvanas will be severely wounded. Captivated, okay, and imprisoned by her sisters Ilaria and Varisa. Shortly before the fight is over, N'Zoth's minions enter the battlefield and fight Sylvanas and us, and everything turns dark. No schedule for the patches yet, as everything during BFA took longer than expected. Plan is for 8.3 to be released this year, yet it might not happen. Mechanomes and Guild Goblins will be the last pair of allied races coming in 8.3.5. Factions will not merge or get removed. There will be some kind of neutrality, and the interfactional group play, communication enabled. One of the big reasons is given as a huge discrepancy in Alliance versus Horde on most realms and in the raiding community. What do you think? Does this sound better than the last leaks? Okay, so basically the reason, and like, all right, can somebody invite me to a realm where these rares are up, on Mechagon? You have to be on Mechagon Island if you have these rares up on your realm. Okay, is this real? I would say probably not.
Hell no.
No.
Like, I'm gonna say probably not. So this is like, no. The only thing that gives this any veracity is probably the Thunderbluff thing. That's the
Which
only
everyone
thing.
kind of knows is
Yeah.
gonna happen anyway, right? Because like,
Yeah, everybody knows that. But the real point where I said that it was going to be fake is they want to polish this expansion. Now, Blizzard has been doing the thing where every other expansion is good. So if BFA is the bad expansion, then we can expect this one to be the good one. Same as, like WoD sucked, whatever, like Cataclysm was bad, Mists of Pandaria was good, had a lot of content at least, and WoD was bad, Legion was good, BFA was bad, this one's gonna be good, right? That's basically it. That would have been leaked before 8.2 if it was true. That's true also. Yeah, that's a good point. I bet the ending will be worse than that. I don't know, so what do you think, Pyromancer? Where do you think it's gonna go?
where do I think like the next expansion is gonna go?
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, I think that some shit that they're kind of hinting at, I think has some weight to it. Like, I think that we're probably due for a world revamp. Like, if they have the resources to do it, I think that it's a good way to pull in new players. I think that that's reasonable. There's literally a command that you can type in the game that shows you that there was supposed to be a Silver Moon Warfront. We've been wanting a Silver Moon Warfront Silver Moon revamp rather, because no one wants a fucking Warfront,
13 years?
Yeah, for like
Something about
for like
that,
13 years. So being able to fly there and having like updated new city hubs and stuff like that would be cool. Like one of the other leaks talks about like a revamp of Gilneas, which I think would be fucking awesome.
That would be fucking amazing. I'm so looking forward to that. Like right now, I feel like Gilneas is like one of those places in the game that Blizzard just decided, okay, we'll come back to this. I mean, that's the way it seems to me. I genuinely don't think they have any plans for it or anything. Okay. Thank you very much, Bello, for inviting me to a realm where the rare literally just died, and he laughed at me. Well, look at you. You're sitting here on your shitty-ass Firelands transmog. Hey, fly. Can you fly? Looks like he probably can. Yeah, he can fly. Okay, he's got flying. Never mind. Okay, yeah, you can? Okay, great. Well, then everybody can see that you have this outdated mount that wasn't even cool 10 years ago. Fuck you, Ballo. And so, yeah, anyway, I was thinking, like, they probably... just a second. Invite. I was thinking they probably will do something that's going to deal with the old gods, though, right? I mean, like, in the next expansion? I kind of just expect that, right?
At this point, yeah, I mean, I think that Nyalotha and whatever that is, and, like, the Shadowlands and stuff like that is probably, like, right on the cusp of being revealed to us. If that doesn't happen late this expansion, then it's probably going to happen next expansion.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I think that Nyalotha, like, where the old gods, apparently have this deep connection, is probably either in the Shadowlands or is the Shadowlands, so I think we're inevitably gonna figure out about that. It's probably gonna be pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that could happen. I'm expecting the Shadowlands, or not, I was expecting Nyalotha to be 8.3. I mean, that's what they've been talking about for a long time. I mean, it's like the second to last boss is, like, whatever the hell that guy's name is. What do you call it?
Harbinger of Nyalotha, Zakul or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it just makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I think they've kind of cock-teased us about the fucking old gods for, I don't know, how many years now, and especially N'Zoth, since, like, Cataclysm, essentially, so...
Yeah,
I think
basically.
it's kind of time that they finally,
I could see them...
give us a
I
little
don't
more than the
know,
tip.
how do you feel about them bring...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just came up to the rare and just fucking killed him. Okay, alright, can somebody invite me to a realm where Rust Feather and the Arachnid Harvester are up? Just real quick, guys. I'm doing my best. Okay, 1 second. Let me look at the rest of this here. Okay. Who's Pyromancer? Yeah, Pyromancer does a lot of war videos. Like, we've watched a number of his videos on my stream, so you guys know who he is. I think they have the Reddit link. Ask him about Cthulhu and Yogg. Yeah, do you think that Cthulhu and Yogg are going to come back? I feel like Cthulhu probably will.
I think, here's what I think. I think it's less likely that they come back, and more likely that we go to wherever they are. And, I think that that's in a pretty bad, dark place that we've never seen.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. The dragon asked, yeah, what about the dragons?
I mean, the dragons, what we're doing with their empowerments into the heart of Azeroth is pretty Dragon Soul-esque, and we've kind of seen little agents of Rathian hiding here or there all over the new zones, so I think that the Black Dragons are probably going to make some kind of comeback. I mean, people have been talking about the Dragon Isles for a little while as well. I don't know if we're ever gonna get that, or if we're gonna get it in this expansion. But
Yeah, people thought they were getting that in vanilla WoW. So, you know, I'm not gonna hold my breath. I don't know, man. Like, I'd like to see some, like, well, let me ask you, like, what do you want to see?
well, I would like to see, because the way that I see WoW right now is that now that we've kind of dealt with Queen of Shard, well, she's not entirely dealt with, but there's really not that many enemies left to fight, to be honest. And I kind of think that there will probably come a point of revelation where we realize that the Titans that we're working really hard to help are probably not very good for our health, considering that Mechagon is kind of trying to illustrate that to us. You know how they think flesh is bad, and kind of, you know, I think it's kind of hinting that something really, really bad is coming with the Titans that we just kind of released from Sargeras, by the way. So remember the fact that Algalon was literally going to re-originate our entire world.
Reply code alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reply code, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not exactly good news for us. I think people kind of have forgotten about that.
So, wouldn't you think that wouldn't make sense because the Titans helped us imprison Sargeras and everything, though? I mean, like...
Well, you know, I think sometimes you got to do really bad things to get to the good result at the end, and I think that while I'm not going to necessarily say that I agree with everything that the Legion and Sargeras did, I think that he was probably trying to save us from something a lot worse than death. Death isn't always necessarily the worst fate when you think about eternal torment and imprisonment in something like the Void, right?
It's a bad
so
time.
I think there's probably, I don't know, I think it would be cool. This is what I'd like to see. I'd like to see us come to a realization that the Titans are not good and allow us to, this is probably never going to happen, but, you know, allow us to basically join the forces of, like, the Shadow and Chaos and Destruction and basically play, like, demonic races and shadow races and old god, like, creatures and kind of fight back against the Pantheon. I think that'd be pretty awesome, but I don't think that will probably ever happen. But yeah, kind of like Final Fantasy, yeah, to be honest. Yeah.
I kind of, like, if I expected it to go anywhere, I would assume that, you know, after this expansion, because the old gods are like manifestation of the Void Lords, right?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, so if they're the manifestations and we start fighting the old gods, and that's like the primary adversary of the expansion, that would indirectly involve the Void Lords. And if the old gods are unkillable, basically, which they are, I mean, for all intents and purposes, really. So wouldn't that kind of force the Titans to have to help us if the Void Lords get involved? And can somebody invite me up for this rare here? The Arachnid Harvester, I'm waiting on him.
I think that's an interesting point of discussion because I've never heard the old gods talk about their Void Lord masters. Yeah. And on that note, I've never seen directly the Army of the Light try to fight back forces of the Void directly. And I've actually never seen the forces of the Burning Legion, who are allegedly out to destroy the old gods, fight the old gods. Have you? I've never seen that. In fact, in Val-Shara, I've seen the Legion work with the old gods, N'Zoth specifically. That's kind of interesting.
Well, how does that happen?
Well, I mean, Sargeras created the first satyr, Xavius, and Xavius, at the behest of N'Zoth and the Nightmare, basically spread the Nightmare corruption in Val-Shara. And if you go to the Temple of Elune, there's demons working with creatures of the Nightmare. And even if you go to the Legion website, you can read the portfolio for Xavius, in which it says that even in his Nightmare form, he was trying to defeat anyone who opposed the Burning Legion, which I think is kind of weird, considering he supposedly works for the old gods.
And do you think that was an intentional thing, or do you think that's just kind of a blind spot in the writing? Because it seems like it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Well, that's the thing is that I think that
no sense.
It's a lot of hinting that's happened over a long period of time, but at the same time, I think it's kind of like this underlying thing where you're kind of being deceived into thinking one side is the bad side when in reality you're working for the bad side.
So like the Naru in the cinematic with Illidan.
Yeah. Right. That's a great example. Yeah. That's kind of terrifying what we saw there. Nice, dude. Cracking a cold one. Yeah, so I think that there's definitely holes in the writing. Like, I think that the fact that Ashara just sent her minions to get the to get the Tidestone, and just because we just decided to leave it there is kind of fucking stupid. Like, I think
So
that's
yeah, I was actually curious about that. So we just forgot about the Tidestone. Was that it?
yeah, I guess.
What the
like,
fuck?
So
was that,
yeah, what
man?
was I was a little bit confused.
Give us the lowdown, because you're the lore master here.
Well, I guess that after we did what we did in the Tomb of Sargeras, we did kind of follow the Legion through a portal that took us to their homeworld. So I could see how maybe we could kind of forget about what we. I don't know. It just kind of seems like maybe we should go back and retrieve those, or guard them or something in some capacity.
But I thought it was in the middle of Dalaran though, right? Because you get the Tidestone from the quest from the Eye of Ashara, right?
Yeah, but then you do take them to Dalaran while we're collecting them, but then you take them to the Tomb of Sargeras for what we do in the Tomb of Sargeras raid.
So we just left it in Tomb of Sargeras.
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah.
leaving
And
your wallet at home, except for your wallet is a giant Tidestone that can summon old gods and, summon the Legion through different interdimensional portals. Yeah, I mean, that makes complete sense. So somebody just kind of forgot about that. All right. So I'm curious about this, right? Because oh, by the way, guys, please, guys, I need to keep begging here. Please invite me to a realm where the Arachnid Harvester is up. I really want to get this rare spawn mount today. Yeah, it's the only issue really to me is how do you determine which leaks are real and which ones aren't real? Because from my perspective, it's some things seem real, some things aren't. I mean, I don't know.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think there's factors of viability and how reasonable it sounds.
Yeah.
I also think that the way that the person who's leaking the things is actually writing the leaks, I think is pretty important. If you're dealing with someone who is a pretty shitty typer and doesn't really know how to spell things very well, and they kind of seem like they're taking shots in the dark based on random things that have happened in the lore previously, I kind of think that those are seemingly more evidently fake, in my opinion.
So, what is
Hard
this?
to gauge.
So, someone says, check journal Twilight Whelpling.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
What does this say? View, wait, where is this here? Okay, I'm just gonna look it up on Wowhead real quick. But yeah, I mean, I think that you're kind of right. So you feel like the thing with the old god under Tirisfal and them assuming that, even though it was already proven that it was the Cathraxi guy that we fought in the Arms Warrior thing, you feel like that right there just kind of rules it out.
Well, I think that's definitely one factor. The whole Nazoth wanting to turn the Bronze Dragonflight into the Infinite. Time gets a little bit paradoxical in nature, and that's why time travel in games is kind of shit. And I kind of wish it wasn't a thing, but it is.
Same.
And I don't know. That whole thing is kind of weird because Murazon is kind of already doomed to become that, and so for someone to basically say,
You mean Nozdormo is doomed to become Mercer?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
just 1 second, let me read this here. So it says here, in a reemergence of whelps outside of Grim Batal has the red dragonflight worried. Something is happening in the Lost City.
Yep.
Oh,
Added in patch 8.2.
shit.
Yeah, dude. It's bad news. The Twilight Dragons are coming back. And I think that will bring the Black Dragons as well, to an extent. Rathian's up to something, dude. He always has been.
The Dragon Isles! Tell him about the Dragon Isles!
I mean, the Dragon Isles could be... I don't know. I think that people were expecting Dragon Isles this expansion. I don't know if we're going to get it. There was a leak that same leak did say that would be the end game zones for BFA, would be the Dragon Isles. So I don't know
That
if
would be
that's...
fucking badass, dude.
I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, the imagery that we've seen for the Dragon Isles was a giant old god temple, but that's basically what we see in Stormsong Valley, so I don't really know.
Yeah, it seems like
the
kind of
plan
just
is.
reused assets.
Yeah, well, yeah, something that was definitely
I'll go over there.
conceptualized.
I'll see the Dragon Wings for myself. I'll actually, after I kill this rare and get this mount real quick, just watch this, guys. Watch this. Watch. Mount God.
If you get this mount, I will literally give 5 subs.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. Your money is safe. All right, that's fucking garbage. I hate this shit. Okay, so all right, it's okay, man. I'll try and do this again, on another character. I'm gonna go over there. What?
What are you laughing? You laugh at my 5, but 5's not good enough for you to check.
Asmon,
What?
Pyro thinks that the Titans are Void Lords.
Can I elaborate on that?
Okay, yeah, we'll go over and we'll find the Twilight Drakes. I think that... Okay, go ahead. Go.
I think, and please understand, that I cannot possibly explain all of this in the time that we have here, but I think that what Chronicled says is very contrived and not entirely truthful about the origin of the old gods. And I think that the old gods truthfully are something that are created, I think that they're created by the Titans. And I think that the truth is that it's the Titans that are trying to corrupt Azeroth while she's sleeping. And that the whole thing about Void Lords is kind of completely not true.
Like Santa Claus?
Wait.
Because Santa Claus isn't real.
What?
Oh, okay, dude. Yeah, let's. How about the Easter Bunny? Okay. There's no way a rabbit's gonna be that big. I've never seen a rabbit even half that size before.
A rabbit that lays eggs, dude. You don't believe it?
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Listen, not the Easter Bunny. Yeah, dude. Okay, well, so they just made this shit up?
Well, I think that the general idea and theme behind the gods deceiving mortals in games and in mythology is not a very original idea. People do like to say that Blizzard's not very original. I hate to say it, but like the idea of the gods basically trying to fuck us over. I mean,
but
like I said, they think that our flesh is like a curse. So.
In like a fictional narrative, usually whenever the gods are trying to fuck somebody over, the reader has knowledge that the gods are trying to deceive the character. And I think that's what's so different with this, is that you're saying that the deception is like, they're not telling anybody that the deception is happening at all. So the players are actually being deceived. And that's where I think the real big difference happens, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know how people would react to that. So why do you think that the old gods were created by the Titans?
Well, I think, as much as people are not going to like this, I think that Warlords of Draenor, I know.
No.
No, listen, I think that obviously that was like a shit show beyond belief, but at the same time, I think that there was some pretty important storytelling that kind of happened there. Mm-hmm. And I would definitely encourage that if you guys get some time, that you go and run the Everbloom dungeon, and maybe go on like Wowpedia and do a little reading about something called spore mounds, because they're basically viney, plant life versions of what old gods are. And basically, I think that old gods could have essentially come from something like that.
Have you been into Everbloom yourself?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so if I go in there in just a couple of minutes, you can show me where these are?
Oh, yeah, it's all over the instance.
So over here, so right now we're over in Grimbatal, and I'm looking for one of the Dragonlings.
Okay.
There's a Twilight Whelpling right here. Holy shit. They're all over the place.
This is bad. This is really bad.
Oh my god. Catch one?
Remember
I'll catch it.
Remember that the Twilight Hammer cultists don't use just shadow magic, but they also use light magic as well. They use a kind of a balance of both. And the Twilight Dragons are kind of, I don't know, associated generally with the Twilight's Hammer cultists in N'Zoth.
So you think that it's some sort of a, like the Twilight Whelplings are like the combination of light and dark?
Potentially, like in a certain aspect, yeah. I think that there's like a theme of balance that kind of exists in WoW, and you can't have too much of one thing, right? Like too much light, like Zera and stuff, is terrible. Too much darkness, like the Void, is terrible. You kind of have to find a balance between light and shadow.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but you don't like the light and dark thing, right? You like the life and the shadow thing, the bullshit with that.
Yeah, I think I don't really look at WoW in the aspect of like light and void, because, oh god, I'm gonna sound literally so. This is gonna be so abstract and sound so crazy. I think that the holy light and the void, there's a lot of reading you have to do for this, but I think that they're kind of replicative of the more natural forces, and that is like, if we
Just
were to
because
speak in,
like there's darkness in real life.
well, no, but like I think more of it is like light and shadow rather than holy light and void, and light being creation and shadow kind of being like uncreate, like destruction,
Yeah.
unmaking. And I think that light and shadow are kind of supposed to be in a tandem of like this eternal balance, but I don't really see the holy light and void
Wait a
that
second.
way.
I just captured this and I got a quest.
There you go, dude. Do
Young
the quest.
Twilight Scale. Show the scale to area above Grim Batal. What the fuck?
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do that now too.
Show the scale to
Dude.
area above Grim Batal in the wetlands. A partially grown scale from a young Twilight whelp. More and more Twilight dragons are appearing once again. This seems suspicious. You should show the scale to area above Grim Batal in the wetlands. Perhaps she has seen something recently.
Put your paws off it. 'Cause you were born this way, baby.
Spooky, dude.
Oh shit, there's this guy. Okay. So is this like a blood elf or whatever? Okay.
I think she's a dragon.
Yeah, that's a red dragon, dude.
Okay. Just give me a second. I'm gonna make sure I don't have Azeroth autopilot on. Because sometimes it just like makes me skip stuff. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. That way, it doesn't skip the quest. Okay, holy shit. This is new. She's gonna jump? Yo, relax. Okay, give it a second. You want me to turn the music off? Okay, I don't know if there's any sort of dialogue, but I'll turn on sound effects, and if there is dialogue, I'll pause the music, okay? Just jump, yeah. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I'm, like, reloaded and everything, and so nothing skips the dialogue.
Oh yeah, remember Asmon? Did you ever see that picture with the? It's that picture with like all the elements of the fucking world, and it's got like the light on the top and then shadow on the bottom.
Yeah, we were
or
looking
the
at
void
that.
on the bottom. Yeah, remember that picture?
The
It's
cosmology map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I bet it ties into that.
Okay, well, let's see what this says.
We will
welcome.
persevere.
I see you noticed the whelps. They appeared recently, along with more members of the flight coming and going from the Citadel. I have indeed been observing strange happenings down below. I sense a great power is manifested, something awakened in the depths, perhaps. One thing is certain, the flight is mobilizing at someone's command. I will continue to stay and relay all that I find to my flight and your speaker. Thank you for your assistance.
Yeah, because we should definitely still be trusting Magni and his interpretation of what's happening at this point, because it wasn't
The
just used
reckoning
against
is
us
at
by
hand.
Ashara or anything, you know?
Oh, I
See that.
got 385 reputation with the champions of Azeroth. Have you ever gone through Grim Batal?
Mm-hmm.
Like this patch?
No, not like inside the. No, not recently.
I'm gonna see.
Go on there, dude.
I'm gonna
You never
see.
know
I
what
mean,
you'll
you
find
never
in there.
fucking know.
Spooky.
Okay. All right, guys. Keep in mind, like, let's look around. We'll look everywhere, check every nook and cranny. Let me know if there's any sort of thing happening that you see. I've done this dungeon a million times too. I'm just gonna walk all the way through it. Tell me if you see anything that's out of the ordinary. Okay? Just a second. I'll change the song, okay? There we go. We're better. Summon the pet. Oh, that's a good idea too. Just a second.
Out of curiosity,
Yeah.
I know you've been playing obviously for a very long time. Have you ever like been invested in the lore at any point, like, or have you mostly played for more like gameplay reasons and stuff?
Truthfully,
Have
I
you really-
originally was going to start playing on an RP realm because I cared about the lore a lot whenever I started playing the game.
Oh shit.
But I read a number of the books. I read the, like whenever Deathwing got announced as a boss, for Cataclysm, I got really excited because I had read the Day of the Dragon or whatever, right? And I'd read a few other ones too, like the Thrall one, Uniting the Clans, I believe, and I think 2 other ones as well. And I have a few more
Nice.
that I just have never really read, but I never really paid attention to the lore on kind of anything more than like a surface level. I just, and basically whenever the Chronicle came out, like I had a kind of a decent understanding of the lore before that, but then that kind of changed a few things. And so now I've never read either of the Chronicle books, so I probably should do that at some point.
There's actually 3 of them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I definitely recommend. I would read them. They introduce a lot of shit, especially about specifically about the Titans and Old Gods that you can't really find anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Read to the stream. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I do want to look into it and see, because I feel like the lore stuff, like, So do you feel like after, because there's always like a really big meme that the lore in like WoW sucks, and I think the best question, right, it's not that really is it good or not actually, but the better question is how can Blizzard give players a better opportunity to see this lore? Because right now it seems like they what?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish. I'm sorry.
Well, it seems like players don't get it. Like if you were to ask like any normal player, like most players, I would say, like, what do you think about the lore? Many of them, I would assume, probably would have no fucking idea what was going on.
I would agree. I mean, I noticed in when you watched one of my videos, I appreciate that, by the way, the last time around. Like, I mentioned that there's a point where during the Darkshore storyline, Saurfang is going to assassinate Malfurion, and he's actually about to like bring his axe down upon him. And they didn't put this in the game at all, and I don't know why. But if you read the novellas that came out that pertain to the War of the Thorns, which is the Darkshore shit, it talks about how Elune actually physically pacifies Saurfang. It also talks about how Sylvanas knew that that was going to take place, like something where Elune was going to intervene would take place. Yeah. But none of that's in the game. And I think that's Blizzard's biggest problem is there's way too much
third-party war.
Yeah, like way too much. Way too much is in books that people either can't afford or don't have time to sit down and read, or maybe like can't read. You never know. There's way too much stuff that's in the short stories and comics and in audio dramas. Like not enough of that is actually put into the game, and I think that's why there's a huge disconnect. Is because if you don't go out of your way to read those things, then you just won't know. I don't know why they do that.
I think that's a really good point, honestly, and I think that's very true. I mean, I think the same thing I was saying with Deathwing is, to me, like, whenever they announced Deathwing, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. I was more hyped for Deathwing than I was for the Lich King. Honestly, I was. You know, because I knew a lot more about Deathwing than I did the Lich King. It was just like, you know, some guy. And so, yeah, it's like whatever, right? I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like Deathwing would be like much more of an imposing threat than the Lich King. You know, he's a giant dragon, and you know, it's like
flies around and literally burns your shit down.
yeah. I mean, look, no, it's just some guy. Like, no, listen, like listen, guys, like Deathwing is literally like Arthas caused a bit of trouble. Okay, Deathwing revamped the entire fucking world. Okay,
true.
He's extremely powerful. All right. And I'm not going to say, like, oh, Arthas was more powerful or whatever, because I think that isn't there, like, a thing where, like, Deathwing said that he was afraid of Arthas, right? Or the Lich King? I'm, like, 95% sure about that.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, well, either way. So it's like, yeah, which one is more powerful? Who cares? But the idea of fighting some gigantic dragon that's, like, the size of his own, like, that idea was really cool to me. And so anyway, like, that's basically the way that I look at it. Like, in my opinion, I don't know, like, what you think about this, but, like, the issue to me is that a lot of the quest lines and like the stories and stuff in the game, they're very easy to do. They're just like, go over here and click this one item and then you complete the quest. So either people don't do it because it doesn't have a reward that's meaningful to them, right? There's no Azerite power or like a cool item or whatever. And then also another problem with that, I think, is that the quest helper just tells them exactly what to do. So people play it on autopilot.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I think is really good about Classic is like, it kind of forces you to actually read the fucking, and I mean, unless you're one of those guys that's done so much P-serve stuff or whatever, like that you haven't memorized, but you have to actually read shit. I 100% agree with you. There's not enough engagement. I don't know, to get people to actually read what the fuck they're doing. I mean, I would wager that probably 90% of the people that have done the Mechagon stuff didn't read when they signed or when they gave their verbal waiver to the little robot that has you sign away all of, you know, everything about yourself. Like, you basically sign away your ability for natural immunity to certain things and your ability for adaptive immunity. So basically, like, your ability to adaptively become immune to certain things and like disease and stuff like that. You also sign away your mortality, which is kind of insane.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The gnome asks you if you want to. The wording that they use is, it's not as cut and dry. They use like big boy words, and
so it's lawyer speak. So Ian wrote the quest.
Ian wrote it.
Yeah, there it is. Ian, okay.
Ian basically wrote it, and if you like look up what the words mean, it's like, wait a second. I think I just signed away my mortality to this gnome.
This like random, yeah, holy shit. If that's the case, that's actually really crazy. Sign away your reproductive capabilities. No, that's actually a blizzard, not an. Let's see
World of
here.
Warcraft.
Yeah.
God.
It feels like almost everything in Grim Batal is the same. Like I've been looking all the way through here and like looking for any sort of like little, like, you know, anything different. I don't remember seeing this door, for example. Like I don't know if you still have the stream up, but there's like, I'm pretty sure the door has probably still always been here. I've just never looked in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anything that's probably changed.
Yeah, I was hoping that, like, because we have the little pet out, and so I'm hoping that, like, maybe something cool would happen.
Ooh, like a secret, dude?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it'd be badass if I discovered a secret on my stream.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Not exactly
have you ever, like,
expecting
been part of
the secret finding Discord?
Well, have you ever been part of, like, finishing a secret for the first time over there?
Not really. I mean... No, I haven't. Yeah, it sounds really interesting, though. It definitely does. The last boss room has Twilight eggs in it. Yeah, I know. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say there's an insane amount of people that do that shit. I don't know how they figure some of that stuff out, to be honest. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, McConnell, he spent a lot of time trying to figure out the corrupted Ashbringer thing at the beginning of the expansion. So
yeah, and I did, by the way. And somebody else took credit. It was me and a couple of other paladins, and we figured out how to fucking get it. So I'm not gonna let anybody fucking take that credit from me ever again.
I see that.
They
bullshit.
stole your fucking thunder, dude? That's fucked.
It was bullshit, and I did it on stream too. But Twitch deletes the VODs after 60 days, so fuck them.
Fucking Twitch, dude.
Okay.
Damn, that's fucked.
Okay, dude. So how do you feel like the Twilight Dragonflight is going to influence this whole thing?
Well, the whole thing with the Twilight Dragons is they want to bring about the Hour of Twilight. And if you read Chronicle, there's going to be some Monka W's in the chat here in a second, but the Hour of Twilight is described as the apocalyptic end of all things.
Oh, that's why Merzon was going insane.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. I don't know if you remember, but when we fought Argus the Unmaker,
yeah,
he does cast an ability called the End of All Things. And it just so happens that Sargeras took a giant sword that has kind of the same exact color scheme and even texture as Mythic Argus the Unmaker and stabbed it into our planet.
Oh, are you going to go into the eye thing
I need to use the
again?
bathroom.
Listen, McConnell, listen.
He's going to do the eye thing again.
Listen.
Oh,
No, I'm not going to talk about it. No.
It's 18
I'm not going to talk about it.
in one video.
No.